Who was walking out early this morning? Was that you? Is that you that I
Oh,
saw out early walking?
it was me, sir.
Ugh,
In the dark.
you are everything. You are the man of consistency and strength and all things we want to be as dads. So, good morning from the Daily Dads. We're here. We're making it happen. We're showing up and staying consistent. That's what we got to do. How was your sleep last night?
Good morning. Good, man. Just out cold. It's finally starting to switch over to like we've talked about, like kind of cold in the morning, cold in the evening. So had a nice warm blanket on. That always helps me sleep a little better.
Yeah.
But yeah, woke up, popped up 4 o'clock, jumped out there, got on the walking trail, and just got back a couple minutes ago and set my whole little mobile office set up, and here we are.
Nice.
Right on time.
Dom, are you the kind of guy that is going to need to have his things that are not so much laid out, but just kind of around? Or are you the kind of guy that can get up and like go search around, get your stuff, and like you're just going to make it happen?
No, I'm very order and organized, like always have been. Like put my keys, wallet, phone in the same place every night, like fully dressed and packed and ready to go the night before I leave for town. Almost my entire life, I actually used to I would shower after work and I'd put on tomorrow's clothes, sleep in it, and just like take that one more thing off my list. But lately I've been more so changing. So yeah, no.
I definitely feel that. So, okay. I sleep pretty much in my gym clothes. I'm going to tell you that. I need to reduce as much executive functioning challenges as possible sometimes. And if I sleep in my gym clothes, I just get up and I go. And it helps me. So that is my thing. Although I am also on the side, like everything is pretty much in like the same spot, but more because if it's not, I will fall apart. So I'm with you on that one. So good stuff. We got Blaze. Oh, there he is. Hey, Blaze.
There he is.
Hey, guys.
I was going to say, who's our mystery guest?
I'm like the complete opposite. I'm just always going by the seam of my pants. The most organized I can be is laying out my clothes the day before. But every day I feels like so different for me. It's hard to like.
Are you in a robe?
Am I what?
Are you in a robe?
Oh. No, it's just a weird sweatshirt. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? More power to you. The collar was looking very robe-like for a second.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm jealous. You're all comfy and warm.
You know, the Black Dog Cafe likes to switch it up. But I think that I have like some things like anchoring, and I think the steps has been anchoring, because since I'm not consistent in a lot of things, I think like being consistent with 10,000 steps daily or more has been a good anchor. So always looking for those good anchors.
Awesome. You know what I wanted to ask? And Blaze, you started touching this yesterday. Have there been any changes anywhere else in your life? Any like positive takeaways? Anything else? Like everyone kind of goes towards health, and so I think like this is the language I use almost every day, but like those off-scale victories. But is there anything else that has been a benefit of kind of getting all these steps in here?
I just always think about like added perspective. I delivered pizzas for like 3 or 4 years, like in college and high school.
Yeah.
And every time you'd go to a new house, I almost felt like it activated like a different part of the map in your brain. And so like you have all these like synapses and everything like that. And I think of that like walks, like with trying to get more steps, I'm going on more walks, and only living here for like 2 years. There's lots of paths that I haven't taken. And so I think it's unlocking different like synapses in my brain, because I've never like stood at this specific longitude and latitude and saw the perspective from my like 5 foot 6.5 body. So that might get pretty far out there, but just a lot of like added perspective on like different things.
Nice. I like that. Dom, has there been anything on your end?
Yeah.
Who got new shoes? Was that you, Dom? Yeah. Okay.
You got 2 pair, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I always like to buy multiples and in bulk, and with Amazon's return policy, it makes it easier. But
That's like
like
an old thing.
what?
That's like an old person's thing to buy 2 of everything.
Yeah. Well, I'd also like to get different colors too. So like I like just the classic blacks that you could put
Yeah.
anywhere, and then I really dig the green, team green. So I got a green pair. But yeah, so as far as the walks, for me, it's unlocking like just that time, like that additional time and space for just like being alone in thought, like just allowing my brain to go wherever it needs to go, whether that goes for work or for friends or for relationships or just it just goes wherever it goes, and I have that space for it because I'm like, okay, I'm going on a hour-long walk, so we just take this wherever we want to take this brilliant mind of yours that just does whatever you want to do. So like we were talking about before about normally being more organized and more calendar orientated, like the walk allows me time for like chaos, just like let my mind wander wherever it wants to wander and not have a plan. So I dig it.
I dig it too. I think it's great. Blaze has been doing a great job getting it all together and keeping it organized. So thank you so much, Blaze.
Oh yeah, I need a better point system. And just so you guys know, I'm not a mathematician, so if ever you think that I've like shanked you on some points, let me know. And we're gonna have a huge prize. Probably gonna be the biggest prize that my Daily Dads has ever done.
What was the game show that Drew Carey hosted with the comedians?
Oh, whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it anyway?
Yeah, the game show where anything happens and the points don't matter. There's a little bit of me that feels like within the step challenge, sometimes that's kind of where the points are, and everyone's staying in it, and it's great. And it's like, you know what? I think the points are good. I think we're doing great without them being perfect. So
I just think about like at the next VCon after Green wins, like should Team Gray like serve Team Green, like building this like dichotomy.
I like it. Set it up. Just kind of plan less and do more. Someone recently told me that they are not a planner, that they're a doer, and I appreciate that. That was Robbie. So that was a great thing that he ended up saying. Hey Blaze, I have a question. Whenever you wear those amazing headphones, can you make up and tell us where you're going, where you're possibly flying to?
Well, today. Hold on. I gotta get in character. Hello, everybody. This is my Daily Dads airline, and we're getting ready to cruise to an altitude. Brody Hirsch has a cough today, so we're going to be going to the pediatric urgent care as soon as my Daily Dads is over. They don't open till 10 a.m., so enjoy your peanuts and your snacks on our drive on our flight. I did the best I could. There you go.
That was great.
Well
I can't wait to ask you and make you do it on a day that you're just not in a great mood. You just be like a really, really upset pilot. That'll be good.
Have you seen the movie Flight? With Denzel Washington?
No.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you mean is that where he? Oh no, I don't. Wait, is that where he was like a drunk pilot or something? But like,
and landed in the river. Yeah,
that was it. I didn't see it. Was it good?
Yeah, it's good. Any
other takeaways?
No, just what made me think of it. That's it. That's all I had. I just want to see if you saw it or not. You should watch it. I don't like talking about movies if you haven't seen it.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, I guess I don't know if I would have gotten back to that one. Anyway, let's jump into some gratitude over here. What do you guys got for gratitude? I think we kind of touched on some stuff, but you guys have anything that you have? Actually, you know what? Let me highlight the couch first. Let's highlight Craig over here. Grateful for friends near and far for always checking in regularly. You know what? I think it's definitely something that we need to do. I don't feel like I do it enough with some people, and that's making me feel like I got to check in on Craig more too. So that is helpful. We got Jason over here. Jason out in Colorado, my brother. Grasping for a weekend and the energy to enjoy mostly every minute late night with some dads. Oh, nice. Yeah. Do you guys have a dads group around you?
What do you mean?
Not really, no.
Like a couple of dads that kind of get together,
Oh no.
also known as friends.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, like we said, my wife and I, we reconnected with a bunch of couples, so we're working on some stuff. We went on Friday. We went on a double date for brunch instead of our normal Friday, just the two of us. And I know the girls are planning some girls trip. We got a family trip coming up with all the families to Palm Springs in a couple weeks, and then we just planned and booked a couples trip to Nashville in February.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, that's
Did you guys
working. So that's.
Weren't you guys going to Texas or something like that, Don?
Yeah, we bumped that, and I booked something different. I think I booked a weekend in Vegas, just the two of us. Texas didn't work out.
Nice. Well, F Ryan Holiday,
Is it because Ryan Holiday was out of town?
Yeah, he wasn't responding to my DMs about coming on the Daily Dad show.
Oh yeah.
And sponsoring us and giving and sending books to Australia.
I've messaged him a couple of times and he hasn't reached that back out. But I think it's probably from the perspective of like he just doesn't know what to say to me. But I get it. Like, so we're gonna work on that.
We'll get it there. And then, you know what? I'm grateful. I was reminded yesterday on stream about this hat, and I appreciate it. I also forgot how big these like brims are, and then I also love that Blaze always Blaze is all about arbitrage, and so I know Blaze is looking to kind of flip some Red Devil hats at some point. So it made me think about it. So I wore it yesterday, and I wore it today, and I
Hats
slept.
For sale. Hats for sale.
That was crazy. That was a crazy day yesterday. So anyway,
Yeah, that was too much. I almost need a break. Yeah, do it.
So I was at Bryson's lacrosse practice yesterday, and I'm still like, I'm trying to make friends. I'm trying to get my kids to make friends. My youngest son and my daughter both have friends they can have play dates with, but my middle son doesn't have a lot of that. So I'm trying to work on it. And so I was talking to this one dad, and we were like, how I always try to pitch our like daily show to people is I'm like, oh, do you know Ryan Holiday? And usually people are like, no. And this guy was like, oh yeah, I love Ryan Holiday. And so I'm like, best friends, let's be best friends. When are you coming over? You got to check the show out. And it was a great conversation. So I think I might have found a new friend for Bryson to have a play date with, and I can maybe even have a new friend on the show soon. So there we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. What is today? It's Tuesday. Are you in the city, Don?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Oh,
did you read today?
I did. Yeah, I read before my walk, and then I was like, oh, maybe I'll like think about it more on my walk, and then that's not where my mind went. So,
what were your first take? What was the title today? Gross.
Are you showing them how to be a student?
Oh. Are you?
A little bit, yeah. Having a couple more conversations about that. I like so the main takeaway was basically like kids look at adults as, getting to the end of school, like adulthood is getting to the end of school. And the one of the main lessons in this passage was, to try to undo that thought or that stigma or whatever that education and learning stops. And that's one of the things that I like about this whole thing that we're doing here and the V-Friends community and almost everyone that I've like met within the communities. It's like everyone's an adult who appears to be or is in like a stage of growth and learning, like almost at a never-ending scale. Like seeing a lot of people start new businesses, seeing a lot of people, continue their education or, get themselves outside their comfort zone. And just, that's what what always gravitates me back to the community is that it's like the whole thing is like-minded people, like doing different things, but we're all kind of doing the same thing. And so, yeah.
I love that. I always look to you because I feel like you're always reading some kind of like motivational or like inspiring book. And I read a lot of fiction, and so I'm always thinking like, man, I wanna be more like Dom and read some. I want your book list, I think is what I'm trying to say.
What's the book you're reading now, Dom?
You know, the good thing that I like that I don't use as much lately, but like Ryan Holiday does have a email list of a book list,
Oh, he does?
and yeah, so it's a newsletter or something. Go to his website, and I don't know if it's weekly or monthly, but he sends out 4, 5, 6 books, and then a little synopsis on each one of them, and just he's very big on dumbing things down or making them very simple. So his synopsises are really good. And that's the other thing that I liked about when I was first getting into all this is I would listen to his Daily Stoic podcast and his Daily Dad podcast, but I would specifically listen to the longer ones because those are typically interviews with authors. Like that's how I found Gary Vee.
Oh, really?
And
That's
all
interesting.
of this is I would only I would strategically listen to the longer ones, and that's how I found like this Self-Driven Child book and all these other books that I listen to. Is like he interviews the authors that he likes, that he vibes with, that he likes their story, that they tie a little bit to stoicism and like that kind of way, and then if you listen to the Daily Dad ones, they're mostly authors about parenting books. So it's a good intro to a book.
Love it. I think I saw like a video clip of him, like he had a stack of books and he's like going through them really quick, and I thought it was a cool video. But I'm gonna have to check that mailing list out. And then David just recommended for high school parents the book Red Helicopter, which I haven't heard of, so I'm definitely gonna look for Red Helicopter. I like the name. I like helicopters.
Yeah.
Ryan, what? Oh, I did want to say the other day we were talking about. I can't remember what the conversation was, but it had something to do with like if you want to do something, like you should study it or get your kids to study it. And so we were supposed to go ask our kids like what's something they want to be better at. Maybe we can find a book about it. So I asked my son what he wanted to be better at, and he said he wanted to be better at Mario. So I instead of shutting that down, I said, great, let's go get some strategy guides. And you can read some strategy guides on how to be better at Mario. So I can't remember what my wife are. I can't talk. I can't remember what DeMille said, but there you go.
I love that's I think where you guys take advantage of the moments, right? No matter what it is that they really want to do, you're still jumping on the opportunity to show them that you're behind them, that you want to help them out. So I think that regardless of what it was, and I'm sure that there is something where I'd be like, wait, we're not going to do that. But there's not many. And I'm trying to think, is there anything, my 3-year-old still wants to be a horse. So play along with that. And then my oldest is still in the moment of, I don't know, she's still kind of discovering a lot of herself, and she's like really into Friends right now. Like she's starting to like really gravitate to like, well, my friends are out there, I gotta go. And so I'm trying to help her balance a lot of those feelings of like, I'm not with them. So I want to make sure that's like the FOMO is not there as much, but that's not really, I guess, teaching her anything. But I think accepting all of those kind of things. You guys were just talking about the book, right? Or the meditation, right?
Yeah. Yep. Always learning. What'd you think?
Thanks for asking. I liked it. It's a good reminder. And I found myself a couple more times this week having my book in my hands versus my phone in my hands. There is like, there's a part of the day where everyone's decompressing as a family. And I usually will find myself on my side of the bed, laying down, and the bed's like made for like, it's like no one's going to bed, but they see me. And that's like a defining moment where I'm either going to have my phone in my hands and I'm scrolling, or I'm going to have a book in my hand and I'm reading. And there's been a few times where I like heard my kids like come in the door. I'm like, put a book in your hands. And it's been helpful. I think it's important, but it's also reminded me to pick up that book too. And it's been really good because it's hard for me to slow down. It's hard for me to not want to do the next thing. And so the book thing has been really helpful for me to realize, like, you need to utilize something to help yourself find a little bit of silence and a slower pace. And so reading the books have been really, really helpful. And I appreciate it. So it's like, I think it's helping. And then this morning I was reading the Daily Dad on the couch, and then my oldest came in, and as I'm reading this, I was like, okay, tell her you're learning something. And so it did bring up like a conversation about, like, guess what my book says? This is what I'm learning. And it was also making me think, like, did I see my parents ever learning something when I was younger? And it does go back, and I'm sure there's many more that I'm forgetting, but there was a point in my dad's life, I do remember, that he was focusing on a lot of self-help books. And the one thing that I remember him like quoting for like weeks as he was reading it was, don't sweat the small stuff. And so when I think back to my dad and that book, that I feel like you could kind of see, like, the things that he would say, you would see him implementing that in his life, like with his parenting. And I saw him learning that. And then if I can, and I'll keep this one short, I do, because I'm now thinking about it. My dad had stepped up to be my soccer coach for me in like my age group, because we didn't have someone. Like there was no coach that was ready to go. And my dad like went to some meeting and was like, well, I guess I'll coach the kids, because that's just who my dad was. He was a teacher. And I think that was just kind of what he wanted to be and what he wanted to do. And I remember he would go to the library and he would take out stacks of books on soccer, and he would read, like he would read through everything. Like there was no internet then. This was what, 20, it was 1993, 1990 maybe. It's like he would just go to the library. He would just absorb all of these soccer books. And to this day, I think like that is learning. And I kind of take that in right now. There's a little bit of me, I'm like, I don't know if I have the bandwidth to actually go coach or learn a new sport for my daughters. But that is that's kind of now where I go back to thinking about my parents or my dad like really learning. And I'm like, yeah, learning doesn't stop. And so I guess I'm grateful for that. This was a good moment. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here for this.
That's awesome.
Well done, Papa Turner.
It was good. Did you see your parents ever like learning or going back to school or anything like that?
My mom went and got her master's when I was like, how old was I? I think like 8 or 9. And so I remember like sometimes she would take me to school and I'd sit in the hallways with like a coloring book or something like that, which I don't think you could do that now. I don't think that's accepted. Whereas like maybe back then it's like she was a teacher taking night classes, like maybe it was. I mean, not all the time, but just like a couple of times that I remember. I think that was like really cool to see like my mom doing that. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen my like parents go to like other classes. I know it was always really important for us to be in like Sunday school and stuff, and my dad taught Sunday school. I'm trying to think, like I can't think of them taking like tennis lessons or swimming lessons, or I think my mom went to aerobics, but that's to me just more like a fitness class and not so much like a learning thing.
I think it's still kind of learning now.
Yeah.
I think it's like, okay, she's pushing herself to do something different. Maybe or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of text. All right, cool. Tom, did you ever see your parents learning something?
A little bit. Like my dad used to talk about a couple of books, and especially in the high school time frame, like trying to recommend that I read some books. But like I said before, it wasn't that time in my life. I wasn't ready for it. I was still in the anti-dad phase of my life. And then as far as my mom, not like, haven't seen her with any like formal form of education, but more like kind of like, you know, just learning new skills or new industries, or, you know, taking on different challenges and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've always seen her as like an adaptable, like kind of like can take on anything if she really wanted to person. So like, that's kind of what I learned from. But yeah, not like formal education, no books.
Yeah. Do you think you guys are going to try and learn anything new in the next couple of years?
I'd like to go to more comedy classes.
I want you to go to more comedy classes. I want to go to one of your stand-ups.
It starts in
With
2
the
weeks, but
headphones on.
yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking about. Our comedy instructor, she does her own monologue, and she always talks about how like her pickup line at bars was she pretended to be a flight attendant, and she referred to her body habitus, certain parts as like the flotation devices. And so that's where like my mind was going when like you had me do that this morning. So, but I would like to take some drawing classes. Like my wife likes to, not my wife, my daughter likes to draw, and I like to draw. So I think I'd like, and I've been doing DJ Kaufman's Draw or Die Club, not every day, but a lot of the days. Oh yeah, so I do want to shill his stuff. He has this thing called Promptober, where he shares drawing prompts for every day in October, and it's like spooky themed. So if anyone wants to sharpen some pencils and jump in, it's free, and he gives away like cool prizes and stuff too.
I like
But
that. Yeah, I think I want to do that.
Your drawings right now that you can show us.
If you go, I'm trying to think. I don't think I can right now. I think they're inside.
Okay.
But I'll post. I'll be vulnerable and post like a thread of Blaze's drawings on the My Daily Dads page.
I feel like that's like learning in itself, right? You're like following along someone.
It's been fun.
You show your kids that.
David's into writing. Blaze try Inktober this year. That's what I'm doing. Well, Penciltober. I don't know. I want to draw pets too. I'm gonna have a drawing competition with your brother. Maybe that's what I need to do. That's all I got. I was reading the comments.
I really have found that drawing those little and it's really, I feel like it's really satisfying. It does. It really kind of like zens you out. It's definitely good. But anyone on the couch right now, what is something you think you're going to learn? What do you want to learn that's new? What do you want to learn? I feel like coding is always, I was like, I'm going to learn coding. I always want to learn coding, and I never make the time to actually learn coding. So I'm going to, we'll see.
Oh, well, I mean, I think you like challenges. So I challenge you to learn coding to make like a fun, like My Daily Dads game or something, like Worm or Toad or Frogger or whatever.
I don't want to do that. So
okay.
I feel like if you challenged me, I would be like, oh God, I have to do that now. And I feel like I don't want to be challenged at the moment. I feel like Blaze knows that I can fall into the trap of doing too much. So
you're like, I'm trying to like figure out how to describe it. I think it's like a highly motivated task completer. Like, and I think that's where I could be stronger, because there's some things that I commit to, and then it's like, I don't want to do that. But like with the step challenge and certain things, like I see you like attack these things like a bull, and I think that's like wild.
Well, bullish bull is what I am right now. Sign language. I've actually seen people do sign language. A lot of people have picked up sign language as like a quick thing to kind of learn, which I think is really stop, Blaze.
What did I do?
I was kidding. I think you clicked on Jason's as I clicked on David's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
I thought I was the pilot.
Anyway, sign language. You know, I like that. You know what? My youngest daughters went into a sign language class with one of our family friends, younger kids too, and she learned how to say cookie in sign language. I think this is it. I don't even know. But like, she loves telling us what cookie is now. And I'm like, oh great, maybe I should look into that a little bit more, because she's okay. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, good. I'm glad that. Thank you, David.
My son still does a couple of sign language things, like for bath and for a couple of different things, just like randomly. Like don't know why he can fully speak now, but like he just will randomly do it. It's hilarious. It's like
That's
it's
awesome.
like part of his nature now.
If you guys
'Cause we
don't
did
know,
teach him.
Rochester. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say because we did teach him some of that stuff when he was going through, like because he didn't speak until he was like 3, and then didn't really start speaking until 4 and 5. So it's just funny to see that he still knows it all.
Rochester's like the American Sign Language capital of the United States, or it has like the highest population of sign speaking people. So when you guys move here, you'll know a lot of stuff. And then I was watching a clip the other day. There was this gorilla that knows like 1,000 things in sign language, and he loved Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And Mr. Rogers always takes off his shoes, and he helped Mr. Rogers take off his shoes when he met him. Just that was like sounding kind of a side street from the conversation, but apes are cool. American Sign Language, Rochester, best friends, 9:02 a.m.
You know what, Blaze? It's been quite a minute since you've sent me a real estate listing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, Blaze for a good time sending me a bunch of real estate listings. Move into his neighborhood, I'd be like,
well, we're building V Friends Village. Josh is across the street. Then like, I think Dom's a harder sell because you're in the state of New York. I can't. It's gonna be hard for Dom's kids to leave high school and like replant. But
you got to do it, Dom. There's no excuses. All right, wait. I have a challenge. I know that you challenged me, Blaze. I turned it down. How about we all learn one thing to say in sign language and we bring it in tomorrow?
All right, I think that's a great idea.
Can we do that?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're over time. I was waiting.
Mugs of coffee, hearts of gratitude.
Good job. All right, guys.
Bye.